Welcome back to the IOTV podcast. We're down in South Texas at TC Outfitters on an axis hunt, and it has been quite successful so far. It's been really fun. Got Calahan Henry with us, Ashley Poole, and our special guest, Megan Harten from Savage Arms. Megan's the marketing manager.
Yeah.
That's right. So it's been a fun week. Had a lot of sort of firsts. We have some new products we're going to talk about, sort of. Tease them a little bit.
Yep.
And then kind of talk about the hunt and things like that. So
yeah,
this is not your first.
Not my first axis hunt.
And not Ashley's first.
no, not at all.
Last year we came down and you get to film that.
Yeah, last year was a lot of fun. I didn't know what to expect, especially when it came to the roar. Especially when it's dark outside and you hear those axis roar, it's quite chilling. I don't know. What did you think about it? This was the first time that you heard.
Yeah, this is the first time I heard the roar. Otherwise, I have been down in South Texas a little earlier in the season. So this was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I think we were out that first afternoon and heard a couple, and I think I was all super excited. I was like, oh, that's
that
it.
clip of video.
Yeah.
When she turns back to the camera and when she heard the first one was that says it all. That was pretty priceless.
Well, it was my first time also, and it's not a regular sound.
No.
It's different.
I don't even know what to
What would
compare
you
it to.
Yeah, what would you compare it to?
It sounds like a man screaming to me, like it's getting.
I think it sounds like a demon to
It's
me.
like-
It sounds almost prehistoric.
Prehistoric, like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were down in Texas. Was it last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Axis
Okay.
hunting. Yep.
And how'd that go?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was right after the freeze that Texas had. So the axis that I had shot that year, it just looks like freeze dried on there, the velvet. So this year I shot a hard horn, and it was great.
Pretty one too.
Pretty, very
Smoked
pretty.
a hard horn.
Yeah, smoked it.
Yeah. So let's hear about how that went down. So it was the first morning.
Yeah.
You got here, you flew in.
Yes.
You got here.
Oh,
What was that?
3, 4 o'clock the first day, and we decided to go out and walk around, see what we could see, hear
Did you
some
fly in
stuff.
on Monday?
Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
I don't
And
even
then
know what
Monday.
day it is today.
Yeah.
But Sunday. So, went out, walked around, tried to locate some, and I think we saw stuff, but
Yeah, they were definitely making some sounds.
Yep.
It was just thick
Yep.
stuff.
Yep, thick.
Yeah.
So, but still always good to be outside and
Yeah.
Yeah,
active.
there's
and-
definitely no shortage of access
no,
here.
no,
No.
not
But
at all.
it's crazy how in this terrain you'd think you'd be able to see them and they just disappear.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
or like
wild
you
to
just
me.
like get little glimpses through, something this big through
movement.
the trees, and you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
A little bit red.
When we were in that thick stuff, it was almost impossible to get close to them. I mean, they can outsmart you a little bit better than I thought.
Yeah.
After that first morning with
Yeah.
you,
We tried bow hunting them several times and just haven't been able to pull it off in the beginning. And then after that, it was like, let's just stick to what we know works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next morning we wake up.
We wake up and we go out, and I think we sat for, I don't know, 10 minutes just waiting for the sun to get up and kind of make our move.
Yeah, Larry was like, we're just going to start walking real slow.
Yep.
And as soon as we got out of that truck, he fired up.
Yep. So we had one kind of off to our left that was a decent ways away, but still exciting to hear. And then, he sounded off, and we're like, ooh, he's right over there. Like, we're going this way. So kind of went in that direction, and I don't know, how many times did he
Probably two or
talk to
three.
us? Yeah.
Yeah. One time really close.
Yeah, really close, and it was like, where is he?
Yeah.
You're just like looking around, there's
Yep.
nowhere. You're like,
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
a ghost.
yeah, they are. They can get gone quick.
Yeah. So, and try and, stay as hidden as we could. And we had the wind in our favor, too. So, then he just kind of showed himself a little bit, and we were all, you got to stop. But a little more spaced out. Yeah, Larry, stop. Yep. Poor guy had to hold his position for quite some time. But
He was saying that he was like halfway.
Halfway
he was going
down,
to kneel
He
yeah.
was
down.
going to
gonna
kneel
kneel
down to
down.
look for him, and like right when he went to kneel down, he just poked his head out.
poked his head out, and he was like,
staring
"Oh
at us.
man." So yeah, I was expecting him. He kind of walked one way, and we saw him, and he kind of disappeared. And then all of a sudden, we caught another glimpse that he was going the opposite direction. So we're trying to get set up, thinking he's gonna come to this other opening, and nope, decided to come like directly to us. So that was even better.
He read the script.
Yep.
He read the script.
So he was going with the wind. He
He
wasn't
was going away from us, and then he
Yeah.
turned. Whenever I'm filming through the trees, you can see him turn around, and I was like, "Oh, he's coming back."
He's coming. Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know. He just turned around. I don't know because he got to some thick stuff, and I don't know if he didn't want to go in there or what it was.
Yeah.
But he started coming back,
Yeah.
And he was by himself.
yeah,
No does.
No
Didn't have to
does.
worry about that.
No.
So he's coming towards you. He's in the brush. You're getting set up. What are
Yeah.
you thinking?
were you nervous?
Just be ready.
Don't
I
miss.
was just
Didn't have time to
don't
get
miss.
nervous.
Yeah. And kind of deciding what opening. There was the thick stuff right in the middle. What opening he was gonna come to, and he went to the one I was not set up on. So kind of turned a little bit, got readjusted, but stayed down on the gun. And I think at this point he started to come out, but was still pretty head on. And I was like, I'm not going to take that shot. So just waiting, and Larry was like, you be ready. As soon as he turns, just be ready to shoot. And I was like, I got this. I got it.
Yeah.
And poor Calahan, I didn't
didn't
give
have my
him any
earpiece
warning,
in.
but yeah, he kind of stuck his head out and then backed up a little bit. And I was like, oh no, he's going to leave. And we're going to keep going after him, but he's going to leave. And then, nope, Larry made one more slight adjustment, and he was like, "Whew, what's that?"
Yeah.
And poked his head out, and sure enough, just turned just enough, and I was.
one
was
step,
ready.
and you hammered
Yeah,
him.
I was ready to go.
Hammered him.
Yep.
Took a crack at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I
that's for
crap
sure.
my pants because I didn't know you were going to shoot.
I'm sorry, I did not give
it's
you a
all
warning.
good.
I knew you
It
were
was all
here,
good.
but
It all worked out.
It
It
all
all
worked
It
worked
didn't
out.
matter if you were good. She
No,
was.
Well, I was not gonna let him get away.
Yeah. That's how I get too. I black out when it just gets that. I don't talk to nobody.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kill mode.
Yeah.
Yep, but.
Good.
So growing up, did you hunt a lot, or how did you get into hunting?
I was I was outside all the time. Older brothers, they all hunted, but they're quite older than me, so I never got to go outside with them. But grew up outside fishing, just getting dirty
Yeah.
outside. But yeah, really got into bird hunting when I met my husband.
Okay.
So we bird hunt a lot.
Big
but-
Are you
waterfowl.
North
Big
Dakota or
water.
South Dakota?
We're in South Dakota.
Okay.
Yep. So
And you're originally from Minnesota. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we spend most of our fall bird hunting, maybe some pheasants here and there too. But I've gotten to do a lot of big game since coming to work for Savage.
What
So,
all big game have you gotten to do?
Few axis, a black buck,
Okay.
elk, whitetail.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
no shortage. I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah.
It's a-
So
yeah.
are
I
we.
always say
So
I
are
live
we.
my husband's best life.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
Poor guy. So far, what has been your favorite hunt?
Ooh, boy. I don't. Everything. It's also
They're also different.
different. Yeah. I mean, and again, I love being outside. So I think I walk around with a smile on my face like the whole time.
Yeah.
I like hearing stuff and watching stuff, or hearing stuff off in the distance, and it's all fun. I love
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, like, of all the things you talked about, you've hunted, what's your favorite to eat?
Oh, axis for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
It is.
I was pretty pumped when you asked if we could come down. I was like, me.
Pick me.
Beth, who?
Yeah. Yeah. No, axis by far.
Yeah.
By far.
Same.
Yep.
It is really good.
Yep.
At what point did you get into the business side of the outdoor industry?
So pretty much, I don't know. Right out of college, I wanted to get into marketing, and
Well, let's
love-
back up first. So
Yeah.
you were telling me
Yeah.
that you were in, because I'm an art major too, graphic design. She was
I'm
telling
an art
me,
major.
yeah, and you were doing sculpture.
Yeah, I was a studio art major.
Yeah.
Yep. So I did
And-
sculpture and printmaking.
Yeah, and all
Like
your
it
profession.
translates real well into
Yeah.
the real world. So,
Right.
but no, I
You mean like those little ceramic ashtrays we made in elementary school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple of those. They look like they half melted. But
Right.
Yep. So yeah, I did that in college. Did some photography, and but yeah, I mean, it's easy to do work when it's your passion. So I kind of always looked for work in the outdoor industry. So I was at Polaris for a little while, and worked there, and then went to Federal Ammunition, and then as soon as the position opened up at Savage, I jumped on that, and
Nice.
yep. So I've worked with Beth for quite a few years between everything, and so
how long have you been at Savage?
since 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Good handful of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Great opportunity to do more hunting too.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you can't.
Good people to work for. Work
Yeah. If
with.
you're gonna, I mean,
great
if you like
company.
hunting and you get into the outdoor industry, ammunition and firearms.
Yeah. Yeah.
You nailed them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been great. It's been great.
That's cool. And so the lineup of rifles that you guys have is pretty incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many different models you have, but from
We've got a rifle for everybody.
absolutely
Different price points, anything to fit, from small to big. Yeah, we've got it all.
With scope, without scope.
With a
Yeah.
scope, without a scope, we've got a lot of adjustability options, so you can do it yourself and
I guess some
Nice.
of the-
not get a gunsmith involved. But
from I don't know what those youth like the 22s MSRP for a couple $100,
Yeah.
all the way up to some of the newer rifles that are in the thousands.
Yep.
I mean
Yep.
the specifics, for everything. The guy
Yep.
that's really going up high, like the Climb and the
yep,
was it Ultralight Elite.
yep,
That
yep.
just came out
Lightweight.
this year.
Yep, lightweight, reliable.
And
And
the-
you
Dead
just
on.
came
They're-
out
they're
with
straight.
suppressors.
Yep.
yeah,
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
yeah. Put
those to
We-
work this
Yeah,
week.
that was great too.
heck yeah.
Yeah, you guys, you haven't had yours for very long.
No, this is the first. Well, it's like when we were on our fishing trip before we came here, we did some pig hunting, and,
Yeah.
and so that was the first time I got to use the can.
Yeah.
Screwed it on the MSR 15 and smoked that pig. But
Yep.
yeah, they're great. I was super happy to see you guys come out with those. It's,
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known more about them when my kids were younger. I think the biggest scare for kids with firearms is the noise.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think it's the recoil as much as the loud bang.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean,
And-
for me, it's always like the leading up to. I know it's going to be loud, and that just kind of, I don't know, took it away. I didn't
And-
even remember.
And it's terrible on your hearing.
Yeah.
Well, and
Terrible.
what I didn't realize either is it also takes out a lot of recoil.
Yes.
I don't know what
Yeah.
the percentage is. It feels like maybe 40%,
Yeah.
50%, but
Yep.
I mean it's nice because you can get back on target quicker,
Yep.
and then your follow up shots. But yeah, the saving our hearing.
Yeah.
Because those of us that have hunted for so long without them, it's tough.
Yep.
Our hearing is exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you came out with in 2023.
Yep.
Had the Climb, the Ultralight Elite,
Yeah.
and the Trail Hunter.
Trail hunter. Yep. Yep.
Was there a shotgun that came out in 23 also, or no?
Well, we had the 560. That's
Okay.
that wood stock.
That's right.
Yep. But yeah, you guys have the Renegade.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
You're
Love
working.
those shotguns.
Yeah.
I think Calahan put a hurting on a few turkeys this year with.
Yeah, so did Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you did
that's right.
too.
First turkey.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Savage
yeah.
Renegade.
One shot, one kill.
Yeah.
5 minutes in, I was tagged out. That was my turkey season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then on
Pretty
this
cool.
trip, I had brought the straight pull. I was going to call it the Renegade.
Your mountain hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And didn't think about it. I've hunted here with Charles since 2018, and it's hard to believe that these axis are such tough animals, and they've over the years have just not had great success with hunters using a 6.5 Creedmoor. And I didn't really think about it, but that's the one I brought, and you brought the new gun we can't quite talk about yet. It's
Yep.
coming out here in a month or so.
Yep.
And you brought it went in a 308, which is great.
Yep.
And the first kill with it,
First kill with that one.
gotta love
Yep.
having that.
Yep.
Now we got the first 2 kills.
First two, yeah, because you decided to take it out
Yeah.
after. So
Yeah, so this morning we go out Tim hasn't killed yet. And you want to tell that story?
It kind of the same as yours. We'd had the last few days had encounters, some borderline bucks, and just nothing we want to pull the trigger on. And since you killed, I grabbed your gun.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning we went out to a spot we had hunted, I think yesterday morning and the first morning, and it had been quiet. We had the storm that rolled through, which was nice because it knocked the dust down and made it really nice for spotting and stalking.
Yeah.
And quieter.
And quiet.
Yeah, well, so you were here a year or two ago, and so you know how loud
Crunchy.
and crunchy.
Just
Yeah.
crunchy.
But we pulled through the gate, shut the truck off. We're just going to walk from there and kind of letting the light come up a little bit, get good camera light. And man, they started firing off. Had one that was perfect for the wind.
Yeah.
We started making our way around. We'd stop, wait for him to scream, and start moving towards him. I think he roared twice, 2 or 3 times.
I only heard him roar once, I think.
Well, at the truck.
Oh, at the truck, and then one more
halfway
time.
to him.
Yeah, I said twice.
So he kind of gave us an idea of where he was, and we're easing our way in. And you've got to go slow because a lot of times they're like elk; they have that harem of does.
Yeah.
And
Lots of eyes.
And they could be anywhere.
yeah,
I mean, they just pop up anywhere.
and he did.
Yeah.
We're walking, and thank goodness for Ashley, she got eyes like an eagle, and we're easing up, kind of getting from bush to bush, and all of a sudden Ashley, points him out, and Charles saw him. I never saw him, but Charles said, yeah, he's a shooter. So that was it. He pointed to a bush, kind of made my way over there, and got down and got ready, and he just by himself.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, I got to wait for the does to come through, and they're usually, somewhere towards the back. He's all by himself, walks out,
Yep.
kind of, he was perfectly broadside, and then for whatever reason, he turned and started walking towards us, and before he got just completely dead on, I stopped him. And of course, there's this little wispy, I don't know what those
Those little mesquite bush.
mesquite
or something,
bush.
Yeah.
And he's quartering to.
Did he see y'all?
Not
Well,
till Tim stopped him.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't know what noise I made. Same thing. I kind of black out in the moment. But when as soon as Charles says it was shooter, I was just looking at the body,
Yeah.
and so he started quartering to, and I stopped him, and that little mesquite bush was there. But I thought he's way close enough. I think he was 60 yards.
Oh, yeah.
61 yards.
Yeah.
And I thought, I saw Megan do this, so put it right there in the front of his shoulder, and absolutely just
hammered him.
He went. What do you go? 50 yards.
50, 60, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost
And
the
he was
exact same spot in the shoulder that you hit him,
Yeah.
and just crushed him. And that little rifle shoots.
Yeah. It does.
I don't know. Maybe surprising is a bad word because Savage has always been known, especially for their triggers. But for the, what it's going to MSRP for
Just under 700. Yeah.
and we went to the range.
Yep.
So when I say this $600 gun shoots bullet and bullet, hole in hole,
Hole in hole.
at 100 yards.
With a suppressor on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to the range. Both of our guns were off a little bit. One adjustment, took it right to bullseye, and we took them up an inch.
Yep.
And it shoots as good as any $3,000 gun I've
Yeah.
ever shot.
Yeah.
I mean, there are reasons you spend that much money on those guns, but I mean, I couldn't believe the way it shot for the price point that
Yeah.
it is. It's
Yeah.
a fantastic gun.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah,
it.
it's going to fly off the shelves. I'd like to see it tested on long range, out at 1,000 yards, steel targets. That
Yeah.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a long range shooter. We do some stuff with a client that has long range schools. So I don't know. This new model that we used has a little shorter barrel than
Yep.
its predecessor.
Yep.
It's a pound lighter.
Just a little over a pound lighter.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Little
it-
shorter barrel.
I love it. Do you know? Did they lighten the trigger on it?
Same
It's
same
factory
trigger.
set.
Yep. So 2.5 to 6
Yeah.
is what you can adjust it to.
And they're awesome. So in that, Savages, your guys are known for your triggers a lot,
Yeah,
right?
the AccuTrigger. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You again more user adjustability, so you can just adjust it to as you want it.
Well, and I like, so my guns that I've had in the past, I've ended up changing out the triggers to a 2-stage just because I like that feeling of hitting that wall and then knowing from there it's any more pressure and it's going off.
Yep.
And that your triggers have kind of that same thing.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it kind of takes out a little bit of the guess. Like it's one more step to the whole setup, and then it's like, yep, ready to go.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Kind of like that. Just trigger flinch.
What is it set out from factory?
I don't know. I don't know what it's set at from the factory. I think for this one we had it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys did turn it down?
Yeah.
It was super nice,
Yeah.
crisp.
It's nice.
And so what do you call that mechanism? Because it's not a true 2-stage trigger.
That's just our Accu trigger.
It's basically like a blade
Yep.
inset in the middle of the trigger
Yep.
that protrudes.
Yep.
And I don't know what that tension is. It's not much, but it's enough to feel it move.
Yes. Correct.
And then when you
And
feel
what it does internally is just kind of moves back and unclicks, and then you pull your trigger.
So does that release the sear?
I believe so.
Okay. But yeah, it's nice because once you feel the main trigger, then you know.
It's about to go.
It's about to go,
Yeah.
and it's not much more pull after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was super cool.
So
now what hunts do you have lined up for the fall?
I have a whitetail hunt this fall. I'll do some personal waterfowl stuff. Apparently, I've been invited on a crane hunt by
So
she needs to
so-and-so.
get in on that.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen
No,
a
I
crane hunt?
haven't.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a bird hunter like yourself, it is some of the best
Oh,
Where do you guys do
waterfowl.
that? Where have you?
It'd be like Western Oklahoma,
Okay.
you can do it in Texas too.
and
but-
there's
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah.
Well, and I
You
think,
you can shoot 3 in Oklahoma, but in Texas you only get 2.
Okay.
I think something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, and they're Charles' new outfit down Matagorda Bay.
Yeah,
has-
he's going to start doing
yeah,
that.
they've
so
got.
that-
I guess they've got a ton of cranes down there.
And you guys were down there last week?
Yeah,
Down in
right.
Matagorda?
Yeah, we came from there to here
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you doing down there?
fishing.
redfish,
Redfish,
trout,
trout.
Yeah, it was,
hardheads, sharks.
Sharks.
yeah, they were closer to catching us than we were to them.
Yikes.
Yeah. Did not
She
enjoy
got
that.
Flounder, got a
Ashley got a
flounder.
little worked
Oh,
up
no
with a
way.
shark.
Yeah.
Well, you had one brush your leg, didn't you?
Yeah, it was way too close. I just looked down in the water. It's just murky enough because the wind was blowing.
Oh, gosh.
And we had seen one, they were black tips, and I like looked down in the water and I just see this tail just go right by me, and I was just like, just don't freak out. Just keep on fishing. It's okay if you got that close, and we're good. We made it out. So I just kept on fishing.
Yeah.
Started moving maybe a little bit faster.
It was cool. I never wade fished like that. You know, fish from boats or
Yeah.
from in the water wade fishing. It was super fun.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that likes to fish, like, there's some people that like to throw a line out and just sit and wait for something to bite. But if you like to fish and make multiple casts and just burn banks and stuff like that, like we do for bass fishing, you will love wade fishing. It is, you never know what you're going to catch.
Yeah.
And you're on the ocean and there's the birds around. It's just,
Beautiful.
it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're fishing.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a spot and stock, if you will,
Yeah.
of red fishing too that
Yeah.
we didn't
Yep.
really get to get into, but
When they're
I'd
up in those
imagine,
shallows.
yeah, and you see them and you creep
Yeah.
up on them. If you've got a fly rod in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have
we
to
just
get in on that.
happened to, the luck of TV. It seems like a lot of times there's something that happens when you pull the camera out, and we, just, we had the trip booked, and of course the weather moved in, and it was windy.
Windy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
tough. But it's still fun. I mean, for as tough as it was still enjoyable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for Coastal Plains is the name of the outfit. For the first year, they already had it figured out. Got
Yeah,
a
they
couple
knocked it out of
guides
the park.
Yeah. Well, I guess one of their guides has been one of the guys in the hunting ranches with Charles,
Cool.
and also loves fishing. Had his boat out there. We had multiple boats. It was super fun.
That's
Yeah, it was
awesome.
a
We're gonna
blast.
try to come back later in the summer when it's hotter. The red fishing, I guess, is better, and the water's going to be a lot more cleared up.
Clear.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
it won't storm on
Less
us again.
storms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Megan, this was fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got the first 2 kills with a new rifle.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
think are we gonna head back out again?
I don't know.
Are you excited?
I mean, I'll pull the trigger. It's just like Charles said, it's just another AC install.
That's right. Well, Megan's leaving her gun here because I got to ship it back. So
Yeah.
may have
Might get 3 on that.
First
I'm gonna put some
3.
tallies on
Let's
that
do
thing.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Megan, it was absolutely a pleasure. I know we've been partners for a couple of years, and this first time we've got to hang out
Yeah.
face to face. So
Yeah.
absolutely a
Yeah.
blast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, it was nice having Ashley here too. You guys have a lot in common.
Yeah,
and
we do.
Nice to have another girl in camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a little bit more enjoyable with
the
us
more
farting.
women we can get into the industry,
Oh, yeah.
the better.
Yep.
'Cause,
Yeah.
it's tough on guys when, if your wives don't hunt or fish, and that's really our passion, to take you away from home that much. If you can get your wives into it or women in general, and then they end up marrying someone who's also into it,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
yourself.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Eventually.
if Ashley finds someone worthy of her,
I'm looking.
oh, you
about
out
as
there
hard-
looking
yeah.
for a good woman.
About as hard
She's
to find as
25
those
and
axes.
single. Well, awesome. I can't wait till the next hunt. And
Yeah.
good luck. And I
Yeah.
can't wait for the debut of the new rifle.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll let you know when it
Yeah.
when it
Heck yeah.
drops.
Thanks for
All right.
joining us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Outdoors hunting big game. I come alive before opening day. It's a twisted addiction that calls my name. I gotta get inside. Outdoors hunting big game.
Keep up with IOTV on social media for all their latest news, tips, and giveaways.